Hey guys, it's Carissa, and welcome to my channel. Today I thought I would give you a quick update on some of the books I've read this year. I have read a total of 10 books and one short story companion. I've also read a million picture books, or more accurately to say, a few picture books a million times, but I'm not necessarily going to mention those in this. The first book I read this year was The First 15 Lives of Harry August, written by Claire North. I give this book a 2.5 out of 5 stars. It was an intriguing concept. I like the idea of the plot, but it just kind of missed its mark for me. I have a full review of this book on my channel, and I will leave that link down below for you guys to go check it out if you want to hear more thoughts about it. The second book I read this year was actually a trilogy written by Brandon Sanderson. This is the Reckoners trilogy. It is a young adult series. Usually Brandon Sanderson writes adult high fantasy, and he is excellent and amazing at that. His young adult series is definitely not his strong suit. I gave this series as a whole 3 out of 5 stars. The first book in the series is Steelheart, and I gave this book 4 out of 5 stars. I really liked this book. The whole concept is something happens and a bunch of people get superpowers overnight. Unfortunately, everybody who gets superpowers turns evil, and they become anti-superheroes, I guess. And they become anti-superheroes. They are called epics, and they basically take over the entire world. This book was fantastic. It was pretty fast-paced. It had good writing. It had fun. It had some fun and witty characters, and I really enjoyed this book. The next book in the series is Firefight, and I gave this one 3 out of 5 stars. It was still interesting to read, and I still liked it for the most part, but there was a lot less action in this one, and considering it's a book about supervillains, I expected a lot more of that. Also, there was a change in the cast of side characters, and I found myself wishing for the old characters throughout this entire book. The third and final book in the series is Calamity, and I gave this book 2 out of 5 stars. Without giving too much away, I really just hated the ending. There was a lot of good story in it, and the first 3/4 of the books was great. But the ending honestly just felt... The ending felt like the characters weren't even the same people. I don't know how their personality changed so wildly, but it did, and it kind of ruined the entire series for me. There's also a short story companion with this book. It is called Mitosis. It is meant to be read between the first and second books. It's only 30-something pages, and honestly, I got nothing out of it. If you don't want to read it, feel free to skip it. It adds nothing to the current series. The fifth book I read this year was Wonder by R.J. Palacio? Definitely saying that wrong, but that's okay. I did enjoy this book, and I feel like there's lots of lessons that can be learned from reading this book. It is a good read, and I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. The sixth book I read this year was Ella Enchanted by Gail Carson Levine, and I just loved this book. I absolutely adored it. I've seen the movie about a million times, and I've always enjoyed the movie, but after reading the book, I can't watch the movie anymore. It totally ruined it for me. The book is really nothing like the movie, and I just enjoy the book so much more now, and I will never go back to watching the movie. So I give this book a 5 out of 5 stars, and I highly recommend it. The seventh book I read this year was Hidden Figures, written by Margot Lee Shetterly. And honestly, this book is kind of hard to rate. The first half, if not a little bit more, the first half of this book just had a lot of information crammed in there. And there was just so much, it was kind of hard to get a feel of the actual book or the story that was going on. I didn't really feel like it was an actual novel until over halfway through, and then I got to get a feel of the characters in it. And the second half I really enjoyed. Now, if you're just looking for a novel to read and entertain yourself that has some historical background, I would give this a maybe 2 or 3 stars out of 5, because it just has so much information that the story kind of gets lost. However, if you're looking for a historical read that's more entertaining than a textbook, I would give this 4 out of 5 stars. The eighth book I read this year was Tuck Everlasting, written by Natalie Babbitt, and I gave this book 4 out of 5 stars. I really enjoyed it. I'm not going to talk very much about it because I'm going to see the play in about a month, and I'm hoping to do a comparison video between the two. So watch out for that. That should be coming soon. The 9th and 10th books I read this year were the Stormlight Archives, written by Brandon Sanderson. The first book is The Way of Kings, and the second one is Words of Radiance. Now, the Stormlight Archives was not an easy undertaking. Each of these books is over 1,000 pages, and the series is nowhere near finished yet. The third book is out, but I don't believe any more are. And I think that this is supposed to be a 10-book series, and so I'm really excited and kind of dreading that at the same time because 1,000 pages per book is a lot to get through. But honestly, it is so worth it. I love this series so far, and I can't wait to get the third book and start reading it. Obviously, I give both of these books 5 out of 5 stars. I definitely recommend these books. So there you have it. I've read a pretty decent amount of books this year, and I'm hoping to continue my reading streak. But I'm always looking for new authors and new books to read. So please leave your favorite book or author down in the comments below, and hopefully I'll have time to pick some of those up and start reading them because I'm excited to read some of the things that you guys are interested in. That's all I have for this video today. I'll see you guys next week. Bye!